Welcome to my primary podcast. I am jumping right in. My name is Jeff Seeley, aka Cutmaker Jeff. Find me at Cutmaker Jeff on Twitter. Find us at Cutmaker Pod. I have so much to talk about because I am so stoked. I've got one of my good buddies here, Geoff Fienberg, and one of the things that I am like most proud of, and Jeff, this is probably really stupid and like I don't know, vain of me, but I am like one of the oldest school Twitter capper guys. Like there was like Stucky, remember Stucky, R.I.P. Stucky, and like
Yeah.
Drop back in the day. And there's a few guys like 10 years ago who were doing like Twitter things. You are like one of the probably you and obviously Pat Mayo, you're one of your best friends. You guys are like the OGs of like Twitter and like in Twitter golf, but like DraftKings golf. So while I like I'm thinking about my 10-year anniversary on Twitter and the things that I've done ish, you are more so. I'm honestly like Pat Mayo has built a fucking media empire out of this, and you're a huge part of it. You guys have been very, very successful. So congratulations to you, Pat, everything you guys have done over the past 10 years. And what a legend you've built for yourself. You're amazing. So we're gonna talk golf today. We're gonna talk football today. We're gonna have a lot of fun, but I'm so fired up. I'm just thinking about like what a great run it's been the last 10 years, how much stuff we've all done, how much success we've all had. Jeff, brother, thrilled to have you here.
That was quite the intro. I always appreciate that, Jeff. You're always so kind. One of someone I consider a friend in the space, and yeah, it's been a weird road. Like, I mean, right now there's just so much saturation of content, oversaturation of content. That's a good thing. That's a bad thing. I think in the end, water will find its level there. And can you blame people? Like you see what someone like Pat has done or other people. And if you were 10 years ago, you're like, oh, maybe I can do that as a job before I got to try to get a real job. So I'm sure that's all part of it in some respects. But yeah, it was a pretty barren landscape back then. There were a few fantasy golf insiders, tour junkies, but it was like, Kenny Kim and Tambo. But it was like on one hand, you could probably recite it, and it was more so like we loved golf. We talked about golf. We worked in an office together. We would talk about it all the time, and there was just no content out there where people were as excited about golf, betting golf, talking about the storylines in golf, like say football. And we're obviously it's not football, but it's like no one is doing it like, golf was just, I don't know, stuffy. It has its own reputation. Just no one was talking golf in the same way they get excited about talking about their own favorite teams. And then when we love it, and then the DraftKings bug and all of it. So it's been quite a ride. I would say like COVID was probably like, like gasoline to the situation.
For sure. Yeah.
Now there's maybe been like, I will acknowledge it was like leveling up was very easy, Jeff, for a period of time, like in the space. And I don't want to speak for Pat as he continues to, just always try to grow it. But like the leveling up was like when it was, now it's like it's a lot slow. Like the leveling up is harder in some ways. And there's like almost feels like it's in the past, it'd be impossible to do the golf season without leveling up. Now it kind of feels like that's the case, but I love the place we're in, and I'll end it by saying it is a very crowded landscape, but at the same time, you just got to be authentic. And Pat or myself, we never sold ourselves as something we weren't. Like these methodical sharps. We're all like, you watch one show. Like 8 years ago, I was just betting Ricky Fowler. Now it's a different guy who so it's, you just got to be authentic, and gamblers can smell a phony. like as gamblers, like if you're phony, whether it's like just the terminology or the way you're talking about it or how you use the lingo, like instantly you can smell a phony and never care for their content again.
Well, and I mean, obviously, it's like you, Ricky. I'll always be on Brooks Koepka, right? I mean, and by the way, Jeff, this weekend, listen, if you fly in town, I'll buy your plane ticket. Koepka Palooza 3 is this weekend at my house. I've invested $2,000 in Chick-fil-A. I have 2 kegs of Mick Ultra. I have a life-size cardboard cutout right across this room. And if you will come right now on the air right now, I will book your plane ticket. You send me your details. I will fly you from Toronto to Indy to attend Koepka Palooza 3 this week, this Saturday, August 19th. You're formally invited. And it will be and there will be 500 golf carts in my backyard here. And it will be an event you'll never forget. You will never, ever sit next to a life-size cutout of Brooks Koepka from his original U.S. Open victory again. And it's going to be an event you're going to – and oh, by the way, we have a crab rangoon eating contest. I bet you could crush some crab rangoon, Jeff. I bet you can murder some crab rangoon. So get your ass in here. I'll buy you a ticket right now.
I have to clear that one before I could commit, but I am so tempted that I feel like I'm going to take this up to the executive committee. You're always so gracious with your offers, Jeff. One day, maybe this weekend, I'm going to take you up on
Jeff,
on one of them. I just want to say to you, because I want to play my role as a guest here. We are live. Should I be tweeting this out? Because I haven't seen anything come across my feed.
Well, no. We're recording. We're not live.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry.
You can do whatever you want. But here's the thing. I'm going to pay for it with. I didn't bet him big, but I won $4,500 on Lucas Glover.
There it is.
And I'm going to buy you a Glover. And Jeff, I just put $500 on to win this weekend because I'm a psychopath. Yeah. And because everybody says he can't win and he can't do it again, but I think he can sweat through his Dockers again. And my daughter, one of my girls, like, who is Sweaty Butt Guy? And they're cheering for Sweaty Butt Guy, and who is but you know what, Jeff? Why can't he do it again? Give me one reason why, because he's not good enough? Bullshit. Give me one reason. Give me one reason he can't do it again.
I don't have the reason. He's been so accurate off of the tee.
He's putting.
Yeah, he's putting. He's been so accurate off the tee. He struggled a bit Sunday off the tee, but no one really.
But that's nerves.
Yeah, sure. But the last Sunday where he won at the Wyndham, I don't think he missed a fairway, including the playoffs.
But he's like, who's playing better? Like not Scotty Scheffler.
Nobody is playing better, and he was playing fantastic before the win.
I mean, exactly. And so you're going to give me 40-1 on the guy who's playing the best golf. I know he's sweating through his Dockers. I know he's dad bod. I know his belt sucks. I know his like whatever. Give me all the hate. So Jeff, I'm playing 150 DK lineups this weekend. I'm locking in Lucas Glover.
Yeah, and so 9,100.
8% owned.
What you think? 8?
8? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And 150. What do you think? 12?
Yeah, 12. I'd say closer to 12.
Okay, 12. Fine, give me 12. Give me 12. I'm going to have 100. Lock in Rory. Lock in Glover. I'm all in. Those are my 2 locks.
Yeah, I mean, it's also for a course like this, Jeff. What's also makes you think maybe you're very confident he can do it again. But for people who are skeptical, he's second in this field in bogey avoidance.
Yes.
Like on every metric, like, yes, the putting, we all watch it on TV and you're hearing the stats. It's these other elements where he's not making bogeys.
Right. And so listen, Jeff, I mean, guys who I'm a huge, fans of this show and people who know me and members of my community, and we're going to talk golf for a few minutes and we're going to talk football. So we're going to talk both tonight, I promise. Another guy, dude, like I love for the price, especially in DFS, Sepp Straka. First of all, Sepp Straka should be the number 3 on the European team? Number 4? Rory, Ram, who deserves number 3 or 4 more than Sepp Straka?
Like you mean the seating?
Yeah.
Listen, I guess so. I mean, you could put him. I wouldn't put him ahead of Victor, Hatton, or Tommy, but right after that, I mean, he's there and he has
he's
the
in
win.
That conversation. Okay, so he's 6. He's 5'6". But Sepp Straka
and there seems to be some consternation about his status on the team. I find that quite hard.
How is that possible? How is that possible?
Yeah, they don't have 12 better options. No, I would say not that it matters. Where does he currently sit in the FedEx Cup?
I honestly, Jeff, I haven't even looked.
I know we don't care about that, but I'm just saying, like, there's no way European golf is good enough to take a player who doesn't go to Eastlake.
And again, not to Georgia homer, but he's a dog, and I'm not a Georgia guy, but he is a dog, and he's just a guy who's going to get down and make birdies, and he's gonna. I mean, listen, who do you want against Brian Harman? You don't want, Frenchy fucker nuts who's going to shit down his leg against Brian Harman. You want Sepp Straka, who played for fucking Georgia, who's going to be a guy who's going to be a dog who's going to get down and fucking play. Like, you don't want Frenchy prissy pants. You want fucking Sepp Straka, who played for Georgia, who's going to ball out. I mean,
I would say, like, the argument against him as it pertains to, I'd say the match play element of the Ryder Cup. I agree with you. He should be on the team. I don't know how he couldn't be. But the argument against him is essentially that there is no, like, middle ground, right? Like, the highs are high and then the lows are low. So he's either going to, like, kick someone's ass or get annihilated, I guess, right? Like, I mean, that's the...
Yeah, but Jeff, but that's every Euro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Literally every Euro.
And if you're playing to win, like, don't you just so you take the chance that he's got it, and if he doesn't, then yeah.
Do you want Ian Poulter or Sepp Straka right now? Sepp Straka is 24th in the FedEx Cup rankings, right? So Euros above him are
if he goes to East, like, there's no argument to be made for him not to be on the team. Like, especially if he goes to Eastlake. Like, the Europeans do not have 12 guys where they could be like, oh, yeah, this guy finished top 30 in the
They don't have 3 guys. Season. They don't have 3 guys. Here's the FedEx Cup standings. John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Victor Hovland, Fleetwood.
Hatton might be there.
Straka.
Yeah.
I mean, no, Hatton's not even – no, Hatton's below Straka. He's the 4th Euro – and the FedEx Cup standings. There is 100% chance he's on that team. He's a lot. Now, more importantly, how is Brooks Koepka not on the team?
He's on the team.
Okay, is that official?
No, but like, the point system is weird. No, yeah, he's still one of the 6, so he's still on the team. Yeah. And even if he falls out of it, he's on the team.
We fucking riot if he's not on the team. I mean,
he's on the team. He's on. There's no world in which he isn't on the team.
All right, so is Glover on the team?
I don't know. He should be. But I don't know that I would bet him to be on the team because I don't know that.
He's currently 3-1 against it.
Yeah, that's
all right. So Jeff, if you and I are making a bet right now, you and I are making a friendly wager. Would you bet? So what would your? And again, listen, I don't have the odds in front of me. I do not. I just know Glover's 3-1. All honesty, I've not looked it up. What do you think JT's odds are of making it? 4-1?
No, I saw that. He's actually. You would be shocked.
I would be shocked. Plus 150?
No, I'm gonna go to it right now because it's in my this offering was not available everywhere, but where I live, it is available. To make the team over at 365. You'll be shocked to know Justin Thomas is minus 250.
Oh my god! And Glover's what is Glover on your site? Same site.
Plus 250. So I think it was 3-1. So they may have actually even seen some Glover money.
So all right. So would you with that would you give me 4-1 on a bet on Glover against JT?
I don't know. I don't want that bet. Like I know this sounds, I totally get how maybe you just play to your ceiling, and maybe I am buying too much into the moment, Jeff, but I feel like it's incredibly detrimental to the system if JT gets a spot and Glover doesn't. And by that, I mean, like that almost will show these guys there's nothing they could ever.
And honestly, I would beg the question, like, okay, so I mean, honestly, I would take Glover, and this is going to sound egregious. You're telling me call me a psychopath. I would take Glover or Brian Harmon
over Harmon. Sorry, what?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
And listen, I think Glover's form right now is better than Brian Harmon's, and Brian Harmon's form is very good. Obviously, right? He won the Open, right? But I'm like, I would take Glover or Brian Harmon.
Like if they were playing in a 2-ball on Thursday, Glover would be favored.
Yes, 100%. He'd be minus 130.
Yeah. So
yes,
like
100%.
I mean, I know that might not be a fair way to look at it, and Harmon does, he's in. He got what he needed to do, but I get to sit here in Canada, and I tweeted during the Open Championship, maybe as Harmon was doing what he was doing and locking up a spot, Jeff, that I'd bet Europe at plus 200. I bet them again at plus 190. Now,
I saw your tweets, and I bet $100 on Europe along the way. But
they're not big bets. These aren't big bets. And hey, if US gets to like minus 120, like maybe I'll dump my Euro bet. Like I could do whatever I want. I just saw that it was going to get weird, and that price was big. And it's always close at home. And I'm not writing the U.S. off. And again, these aren't big bets at all.
No. Of course not.
I love the Ryder Cup. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my flag in the ground now. And it's the biggest, the number's not getting bigger than what it is today. So I'm enjoying, in some ways, this American team with like Harmon. And so,
but all right. But Jeff, you know, it's a big bet. $500 on a 40-1 outright is a big bet.
That is a big bet. That's a huge bet. What do you think it should be? Like he should be in the mid-20s, like low 28. I could agree with that in some respects.
Yeah,
45 is insane. Like beside Corey,
right now, 40 is insane. I bet it at 40, and honestly, like. And again, like Jeff Sherman posted it, and as soon as he posted on Twitter, I said Glover max bet, and I didn't think he really thought I would bet it, and I did, and he face palmed me, but I'm like, dude, he can win. So we talked about this a little bit. Let's talk a 2 seconds about this tournament. So give me some guys like. I mean, look, like there are obvious guys, right? Homa's in play, Cantlay's in play, blah, 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 blah. I like Straka this week. Give me a guy who's not obvious, who's going to be less than 30-1, who you're interested in this week, not named Glover, not named Straka.
So there would be a couple of them that I guess I could highlight. For starters, Corey Connors is the banana stand, Jeff. There is always money in this guy. If it's about driving and second shot and not having to hit a ton of putts, like that should, for all the people saying Scotty doesn't need to hit his putt, like I'm not calling Corey Scotty. I just mean the non-birdie brigade aspect and Corey's ability to just keep it clean is something.
I like Grillo. Grillo's the same way.
Grillo. I was going to keep Grillo next. The odds on Grillo are also pretty silly. I've seen him as high as in the 90s. He is not doing what Lucas Glover is doing at this moment, but the fact that he's putting better than almost ever, and he is still remain that player profile that we've always known him to be, the very enticing option. And I would argue, I'm not betting him, and I would think Siwoo is probably going to come in like above 10%, but he's quietly playing quite well. The strokes gained approach in his last 9 weighted tournaments, he hasn't lost strokes off the tee since October. So that's a guy, maybe more in DraftKings, that's $7,600. I'm not going to be afraid to go pretty hard with.
So Jeff, I went broke on Sunday. I went all in. I want to say broke, relatively speaking, but I mean, I went all in on Denny McCarthy on Sunday because he was so dialed in on approach, and he had lost 3 strokes putting. What in the world, Jeff? What in the history of the world do you see Denny McCarthy lose 4 strokes putting in a tournament? Did he lose a contact lens? Like, bro, like, what are you doing with this? Are you concerned? Are you coming back? Because he is dirt cheap, and Denny's a guy who could dial this in. And if his wedges are any good, which they were elite, his wedges were elite. His procs was so good, his putting was terrible. Like that seems like the biggest bounce back spot of all time. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, he was like, I feel like my boy Ben Raza was tweeting about him earlier at that $6,700. He joked it was like combining bad ball striking with horrible putting. He was basically the anti-Glover last week. The recent form is a little shaky, but a lot points to him probably being able, like his putter should definitely be able to keep him.
Has to, right? It has to.
And the tee to green was so good. I mean, good. I mean, it was just so above average for him for so long that it's in there. And I mean, his results in the bigger events, like Second Memorial, 20 US Open, 7 Travelers, top 15 at the Players. So he's not been afraid of playing 8th at Wells Fargo. I didn't mention T30 at the PGA. So, I mean, there's so much on the calendar here that shows he will easily make good on your 6,700.
Yeah. All right. So I'm in on a little Denny. I mean, I'm going to play a little bit of him. We'll talk about other guys, but man, I think we've covered.
What do you think about Svensson?
I mean, I don't hate Svensson.
He's 8th cheapest golfer in the field.
No. I mean, no. You're right. I mean, on DK for his price, he's probably really. You know what? I'll take Chris Kirk over Svensson.
Yeah. Okay. So Chris Kirk's I've whistled off a few, but Kirk is a name that I've written here.
And listen,
I say 7%, 8% at maybe 10. No,
he's gonna be super low on. But I am. So my new BFF is So I'm a card carrying Adam Shank stan now.
Yeah, I like him.
You know, I'm a stan because I'm a huge Eric Barnes guy now, and I'm building my own Indiana golf mafia. Eric Barnes, Tyler Duncan, and Adam Shank. So and actually, Adam Shank, dude, look at his stat. He profiles really, really well. Played really good golf. Form is really good. I mean, how about this? He's number 1 in procs from 150 to 175. His irons have been really good. Doesn't 3-putt, just makes 2 putts. Form is really good. and Adam Schenk is going to be 6% owned.
Okay, well, the great thing about I feel like he is probably a must play in the no cut event because his profile this year, there's no cut to miss, and he's shown he's boomer bust. But now the bust is weighted lower because he's still going to get the weekend rounds, regardless of how he plays.
Jeff. I mean, he profiles so well. He just and like what is Adam Schenk playing for, right? I mean, he is on a free roll. He's on a free roll.
Yeah, so those are the guys. Olympia Field sets itself like you feel like it's finally a hard golf course since almost if you didn't think the US Open played hard and you were upset the wind didn't blow at the Open. Well, we haven't really in your mind then had a hard setup since the Memorial. And with that, you assume that it's just going to favor like the elites again, and they're not going to get clipped by Keegan or Wyndham or Denny. I mean, Glover, and it's just been crazy. But there are these guys on the free roll that I said would scare me more than anyone else that are just free rolling this week. They're already essentially at East Lake. And
Jeff, it's a thing, right? Give me a matchup, and I'm just going to use like DK pricing for a second. So give me a matchup, Harris English, who I love. Not this week though, against Schenk, and Harris English would be plus 150. I'll take Schenk all week long.
Yeah, you almost wish you could like.
I mean, well, honestly, Jeff, I'm just looking at names, and I'm just going to name price. Like you said Svensson, right? Let me cut you off. You said Svensson. Yeah. Like I would take Svensson over Hadwin in a matchup blindly.
Svensson over Hadwin,
and because he'd be a dog. I'm talking about dogs who I would take over favorites, right? Like I would take Straka over Siwoo Kim. I would for sure take Poston over Cam Davis. I'm just
I don't want to
fire.
Like beat the Svensson drum harder or too hard.
Yeah.
But when you open him up for a moment and you consider that he finished 37th at the St. Like he finished right in the middle of the pack there last week, Jeff, losing 6 strokes putting. Yeah. Like what else he is doing was pretty much amazing. He got that 7th at the Wyndham making the putts, but yeah, I don't know. He seems like really I guess it like everyone is safer in the no cut event, but he feels really safe for the bottom, in my opinion.
Yes, no, and honestly, dude, bro, like so does again. I hate to be a recency bias guy, but so does Lee Hodges.
So, do you think there's going to be a lot of people like powering the top and then just being able to dump in like Kirk and Svensson?
Everybody's going to do that in DFS
because
everybody because you listen. I mean, you're going to play Rory, you're going to play Victor Xander, one of these guys, right? So you can probably ship with. I guess just me talking out loud.
But yeah, you're going to play Rory Glover and then even be able to fit someone else awesome in there. And then go to the bottom.
I may even punt Rory, and I may go Glover, like Hatton, Connors, Burns, just ding in this range. Listen, dude, I'm playing 150 lineup, so I'm going to play. I mean, I'm in this to win it this week.
Do you not like just comparatively, like a 50-man field, do you scale down or you're just still doing what you do?
No. This is more important than I go all in now.
Okay.
Because then I can take elite stands, right? Like, I mean, honestly, Jeff, bluntly, I'm going to take, I will have, so let's say Rory's 25% owned, I'll own 50. I'm going to own 100% Glover. That's going to be unique. Right, that's going to be unique.
Yeah, and what did we say? Like 12, 10
yeah. So I'm going to lock in Glover. I'll sell you a piece of this action if you want my 150 lineups. I'll sell you a piece of this because it's going to be elite. I'm gonna have 100% Rory, no Scotty, no Rahm, no Cantlay, no Hovland, no Xander, no Spieth, no Morikawa, a sprinkle of Fleetwood, sprinkle of Homa, no Hideki, no Sanjay, no Fowler. I mean, it's gonna be Rory and Glover, and then I'm gonna mix in everybody else down below. I may just lock in the two of them and play a sprinkle of everybody else down below, like a cascade of everybody else in the field. And Jeff, there's my path to $1 million.
That is
Tell me that's the worst play you've ever heard.
Sorry?
Tell me that's the worst play you've ever heard.
No, I've definitely heard worse plays. I like it. I would be one of these
Glover ships again for the third time, and I own 100%. I win all the money on the internet.
You. He's so. I don't know. That'd be unreal.
Dude, if he wins again, Jeff, if he wins again, I'm the streak from here to Canada.
If he wins again, like I'd give him Sportsman of the Year again, over.
And you're not here at Tuscaloosa for it. You're gonna be so pissed. Buy your plane ticket tonight. I will fucking reimburse you. Let's go, because you want to be here when he wins this weekend.
If he wins, he's like gonna pass Ohtani for like God mode summer.
He's gonna be the third greatest golfer of all time after Jack Nicklaus and Brooks Koepka. That'll be Glover and then Tiger. He'll be the fourth greatest golfer, the third greatest golfer of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, but just for a second, just imagine, Jeff, if he wins again. And but dude, like, and people are like, oh, he's gonna be so worn out. He's gonna be so tired, bro. Think about where his confidence is at.
I don't buy the worn out. Like, he also, here's the thing about him. He's not like, how do you put this? No disrespect to Lucas Glover, and he probably prefers it this way because the winner's checks make good on all of it. It's not like he's the one that's being dragged to some BMW corporate event like Rory or Cantlay tonight.
And he's also not 25, right, bro? He's 43. He's been on this grind for decades. Like this.
I was talking to a buddy who's here and who's spent a lot of time at the Canadian Open and noted to me, like, he just, like, once Glover wins, these memories come back. But he's like, I watched Glover like pound balls on the range for like an hour. Everyone beside them had all their fancy toys, coaches, trackmans, everything. Glover was just there like pounding balls, making his divot patterns. It was like art. It was like art. And like him winning just brought that memory right back to like the forefront for me.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, dude, there's like and everybody there's everybody's a hater. And there's and again, man, it was all about putting forever. And and Pat Mayo calls him the glove, and I've stolen that from Pat. I'm calling him the glove. I mean, the glove is just he is by the way, shout out to Pat, the most credit I get on like any nickname of all time. My favorite two I get are the answer, Abraham the answer, and the greatest nickname of all time is the Gim Reaper. Those are the two that I give credit for that I use in my podcast that are the greatest two. The Gim Reaper and the Gim Reaper's played well lately, so he's been very relevant. But yeah, no, I mean, but I mean, the glove has played. He's played really, really well, and no, dude. I mean, I don't see any reason to fade him now. But so pivot. I'm picking Glover to win. Who's your pick to win?
My pick to win is Hovland.
Hovland, done. Now we're talking football. So now we're going to talk briefly. A lot of news today, right? And if running back news on a scale of 1 to 10, Jeff. So if PGA is a 10 for you, what is your I mean, I know you're a Chargers, probably 20 on a scale of 1 to 10. And NFL news in general, what is your like news follow on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, dude, it's like a lifestyle, Jeff. Like the level for which you follow NFL news and information, like it's just a
Well,
lifestyle.
so are you a weekly NFL? Are you a weekly DK NFL player?
No, in terms of DK, no. I play way more DK in golf than it
Okay.
would just hard. I have a hard enough time with golf where I actually like, how do I put this? The guys I pick might suck, but I know they're playing 18 holes today.
Yeah.
And I know they're teeing it up on each hole.
But so what you're saying
I
is
am not like like golf, obviously. Yeah, football, it's like a whole other level of trying to like, Minecraft the situation, and obviously the models can do it for you, but there's never a lineup in football that I would like set on a Sunday morning and think that's good. The ones that win, I mean, like I would never set that. How did that guy just win all that money?
Well, yeah, it's unlike golf. You're right. So Jeff, I'll tell you this. You probably don't know this, but my original, I don't know, Twitter fame, if you will. Have you heard of the MAC?
The conference?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I love.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to slow your thoughts, but so, and this is like 2004. I live in Indiana, as you know, right? And I used to travel the Midwest for work. And I would donate like $1,000 to various schools. And I would be able to sit down and have lunch with the head coach of every single MAC team.
My God.
Whenever I wanted.
What a system you figured out there, Jeff.
And
I already know where this is going. You're the man.
And so I was like, I'm not kidding you, for like 3 years, I hit 68% in the MAC. And so Jeff, what I've done is I've taken the month of August and I'm getting back to the MAC.
Back to the MAC.
And I'm reinvesting in the MAC. And I'm going to re-network in the MAC. And I am going to be the greatest MAC handicapper this year. And so when you see MACtion on Tuesday night and Wednesday night and Thursday night on ESPN, I'm the guy you're going to want to talk to, because I'm building my MAC power ratings as we speak. And it's laborious, and it takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes depth, because the MAC's it's a whole different animal. But
I will tell you, non-Chargers, like maybe one of on a short list of my favorite football players of all time, Jeff, is goddamn Dan Lefevre. Okay, and I'm up here in Toronto, and a lot of MAC quarterbacks. Nathan Rourke was on the BC Lions last year, incredible. A lot of MAC quarterbacks come through the CFL. As well. So and Buffalo's a MAC team, which is
no. Hey, Jeff, can I ask you if you remember a guy? And it's funny. So I have a guy who is I am the biggest stan of all time, who ran the second. So Chris Johnson, Tennessee Titans running back, ran the fastest 40 of all time at the combine. Who ran the second fastest combine time of all time? He's from the MAC, and he went to Kent State. There's no way you'll know, because you don't know, you would know immediately. His name's Dree Archer.
No.
Okay. Dree Archer was a kick returner, running back / like scat back for Kent State. He scored a touchdown every 9 touches at Kent State. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Steelers and ran the second fastest 40 of all time. And I have 2 daughters. One was a newborn when he was drafted, and the other was 4 when he was drafted. And I have 2 Steelers jerseys. Each of my daughters, Stay Fast, Dree Archer, which are amazing. So and the cool thing about the MAC is, like, you can go to a game and you can stay on the sideline. You can be so, and it's just, it's so relevant. Like, but as my buddy Clint Bowling would say, my buddy Clint is just texting. Clint played for Georgia, All-American for Georgia, played 10 years for the Bengals. He goes, I tried to watch a MAC game, and it's the worst football I've ever seen in my entire life. So I had to turn it off. And he goes, I can't watch it unless I'm gambling on it. And so you got to understand, like, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be variance, and so on and so forth. But man, if you really dig deep into the MAC and you take, which is what I'm doing right now. But listen, Jeff, the line on Auburn, Alabama is going to be sharp as fuck. The total's going to be sharp. The side's going to be sharp. It's going to be sharp as hell. The line on Kent State Bowling Green,
love it.
Probably not as sharp.
I love the MAC. I love the MACtion. I'm a fan, so I'll be buzzing you on those game days for the play, or you'll tell me even beforehand.
Well, you'll be in tune. Well, listen. So, let's talk a little NFL. I want to talk Chargers rookie. So, listen, I'm for all of us who are like, I do best balls almost every day, like a lot of people do. So I'm building my Chargers stacks. I've got Keenan Allen. What do I do? Wide receiver 2. Where's Q at? Where's Mike Williams at? Where is Geoff Fienberg at in the pantheon of Chargers life? Tell me what's going to happen.
So I'm finally getting like my buzz back, because that was a way to end it, Jeff. And I've just set my expectations for the year. It's simple. It is going to be fun and sadness, because there's no way this group is not going to be so much fun. Every day in camp, like every story, I don't mean like the Chargers media stories, but every time like one of these NFL insiders goes to Chargers camp, they're just marveling at like how much they're stretching the field, Jeff. So things are going to be exciting. The Kellen Moore stuff. As for how the receivers are going to play out, I think everyone is going to eat pretty good, to be perfectly honest. I would say maybe this isn't where you thought I would start, but in a sneaky maybe value proposition, maybe look at those tight ends. Because what has Kellen Moore done really well in his career? He's really good at drawing up plays where that tight ends get wide open.
Yeah.
So I would be tracking that Parham Everett situation very well. And Quentin Johnson, how to put this? Because I get asked about him a lot, and I would say let's not ignore Josh Palmer, who caught 72 balls last year and was almost like a lifesaver for Herbert when things really went to shit. I mean, like with the Williams and Keenan injuries. Like, so there's a rapport there where he trusts Josh Palmer like he is Keenan Allen or Mike Williams. That will play a factor. But will Keenan Allen, when people ask me, should they invest or what is their thoughts on Q? And I'm like, well, let me ask you this question. Do you trust Keenan Allen and Mike Williams to stay healthy? They'll usually say no. And then I'll follow up with saying, well, then you should probably want a little piece of Q. They're even running them in the slot. So things are getting exciting offensively for the Chargers. The offense, things might go to shit. They will lose games in incredibly sad fashion. The season will end painfully. But in terms of making good on people's like best ball and fantasy and that offense is going to be a straight wagon, Jeff. They get their left tackle back. Herbert should be healthy. They get their offensive people are playing in the right places. Herbert's been in the league for 3 years. He's setting records. That's like fun, but now it's time to like take over. That's my thoughts.
And listen, I mean, I've been investing a lot in best balls, and because listen, I think it can be, but what I learned last year, Jeff, in playing a bunch of DFS, when I kept winning with guys who sucked, and Justin Fields, who sucks in
Yeah,
general.
such a weird.
What I realize is AR for the Colts is good. You talk about a truck, like if like I mean, holy stop and it's like holy Toledo. This guy is a he is like
I'm
he's like
in. I'm in. I'm in. I'm buying it. I am buying it. I love the draft. Like I love playing for the ceiling with a draft pick like that. Um, I'm not the only one. I didn't get any of those like awesome out of the gate rookie of the year numbers, so I missed them. But I think he's going to be a show. And when you see how Fields ranks in fantasy points wise, he's going to do the exact same. He's going to do the exact same thing. And they've built him a basketball team of receiver. They built him a basketball team of receivers.
That's just it. You be that big or better. And again, especially if Jonathan Taylor snaps after the last minute, which he may or may not, right? We don't know. But the thing is, like, bro, like Fields is 6 foot. Dude is 6'5". Like he's like he is like I don't know. I mean, like Ron Artest running down as quarterback, right? Like he is a beast. And like this is not your average run of the mill like option like Lamar Jackson type. This guy is a beast. And oh, by the way, honestly, he is. I think he's a grown man, Michael Vick, and I mean that in all compliments to Michael Vick. Michael Vick was 6 foot. Michael Vick was. I mean, was Michael Vick not one of a generation?
Yeah. I think it's setting up. I think the situation is perfect. Obviously, like it's no secret to tell the story of the coach and what he did with Herbert as a rookie, and then a player with the Jalen Hurts skill set.
Yeah.
But what is most valuable to AR to me with that coach, and I've heard him mention it in the offseason or maybe since the draft pick, is that when you play that option, that RPO situation, the looks that he'll see will be the most generic looks, and you can't really disguise. And that was such a benefit to Jalen Hurts is when the quarterbacks can do that and your offense can do that so effectively, the layout of the defense. Like there are very few surprises, and then you can call the passes. Obviously, hopefully they're well timed around that. But the base defenses you are seeing are not exotic when you can do that with the RPO. And that's as big of a benefit to a rookie quarterback with his lack of true snaps, even in college. I think that will be so beneficial to him, and Shane will just dial him up. There'll be growing pains, but if I could buy like a stock, I would. I would buy not just in like him, but I mean, I really like the trajectory of the Colts, regardless of this Jonathan Taylor situation. That doesn't bother me.
The Colts overcome. So now here's the thing, Jeff. Every sharp person on the planet Earth, and the most popular survivor pick is going to be Jacksonville Week 1. And honestly, I'm telling you this, like I've got 3 entries in a big survivor pool. I'm going to pick the Colts in Week 1 in one of them as one of my 3 entries, where's
that game? It's obviously in Jacksonville, maybe.
Yeah. Because listen, the Colts have lost. Well, they're 1-11 the last 12 opening games. There is no reason the Colts should win this game. Everyone on earth is but it's such a max leverage spot that with 3 entries, one of my 3 entries is going on the Colts in Survivor Week 1. And I know I'm an imbecile, but that's not.
No, I don't think I'm not calling you an imbecile at all. I'm just sort of thinking through it. I'm not like staring at the schedule. But week 1 is silly, Jeff. Indy's at home. I like it.
I'm sorry. They're at home. Yeah.
They're 3 and I'm betting Indy. I'll be betting Indy as the field goal home dog that week.
Wow,
Jacksonville
okay.
will be fine. I'm not even here to pick on Jacksonville when I say this. Week 1 is like the dumbest week there is. It's literally it's such a big talking point because we're foaming at the mouth for football. But once we get to like week 4, week 1 is irrelevant. Like it is irrelevant in terms of what happens. That's a long-winded way of saying the amount of silly things we've seen in week 1, the amount of bad teams that win week 1 to only win like 2 more times the rest of the year. I hope you're right that Jacksonville will be a very popular suicide play. I'm not saying I'm going to use Indy, but I would love to see a nice chunk get knocked. Because
Jeff, let's make a friendly $100 wager. We'll lock this down for the show. I'm going to make my note right now. So, tell me what percentage, or I'll give you an over/under. How about this? And you can take over/under. I'll make it easy on you. I'll take an over/under. I will say that Jacksonville will be picked at over 20% in survivor pools. You want over or under?
I'm going to say under, but I just want to put this hypothetical against you.
Yep.
Who do you think, who would be more popular? Jacksonville?
This will be our $100 bet. This will be our $100 bet. Jacksonville or who?
Jacksonville on the road in Indy, or Atlanta at home versus Carolina. They'll probably both be field goal 3.5 point games.
Like I will say, I'll bet you $100 Jackson will be more popular. Want to take that bet?
No, but I will take the 20%. I'll take under for 100.
All right. Bet. I think they'll both be around 20%. That's probably 40% of the bets right there. Those two.
No, I don't. Okay.
I mean, am I wrong?
Baltimore's home to Houston, so won't that be like 70 right there?
That'll be 40%.
I guess, yeah. Week 1, people have multiple teams, so that's the thing. It can only be. It can't be so high because the multiple team aspect.
And if you know, and if you know everything about Baltimore, game theory is right. You can't have all your eggs in that basket. If lightning strikes and
especially week 1. Like maybe in week 7 or something, you'd be more willing to go all eggs. But
listen, trust me. I've lost to Houston in week 1 plenty of times as a Colts fan.
That tie 2 years ago eliminated.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, listen, Jeff, you're the GOAT. Thanks for coming on, brother. I mean, you're always great. We talked golf, we talked Ryder Cup, we talked Olympia, we talked NFL. So give me your pick to win the AFC and give me your pick to win the NFC and pick to the Super Bowl.
On the spot here. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to finally do it. I'm not going to pick the Chargers because that'd be crazy. So the Buffalo Bills, I feel like in some way, which this might sound crazy, that all the hype with the Jets and the excitement around the Dolphins has actually got people, I'm not saying sleeping on the Bills because I'm not an idiot. Like no one is sleeping on them, but I feel like people just so badly want to pick someone different. But I like Buffalo. And in the NFC, Dallas would be psycho. San Francisco, because I trust Kyle Shanahan. San Francisco beats Dallas in the title game. For the 3rd straight year, Dallas goes out to Kyle Shanahan. So
Niners and then Bills, and who wins the Super Bowl?
I'm going to say Buffalo because it's like 90 minutes down the road.
Yeah. All right.
But that'd be a fun one. That'd be, Vegas, sure.
I agree. And so for me, AFC, who they?
Yeah.
Who do I think they're going to beat them Bengals? Who they? And because I mean, they are so swaggy, so good. I think Joe Burrow is as good a quarterback as I've ever seen. People talk about Josh Allen, talk about Joe Burrow is as good as calm, tough.
It's not fair, Joe. Jeff. It's like you're watching this Tom Brady, but with first overall like pedigree.
Yes,
if that makes not sixth round pedigree.
Jeff,
and all I could ask of Justin Herbert, which we know it's not fair to compare, but to just in a way like own the situation, like Burrow owns the situation.
What a great analogy.
Like
he's Tom Brady swagger with first round talent.
That's first overall talent.
Yes.
Like it's that like, oh my God, I've said enough.
And I wish he's that guy.
My life, I wish Justin Herbert could command his teammates the way I see Joe Burrow command them, because Herbert can make throws that Burrow can't, but Herbert can't command the freaking every aspect of everything like it feels like Joe does. And that's
Joe Burrow is Joe Montana.
Sure.
That's who he is. He's Joe Montana. He's Joe Cool. He is.
Yeah. And Justin Herbert's a mix of Jeff George and Dan Marino. Cool. Like a nice version of Jeff. Like a nice guy.
Keep in mind, I'm an indie here. Jeff George went to high school down the road and was here our first pick years ago. And I hung on them beers in the champs back in the day. Actually, it's funny. Like Jeff George, pure talent, like elite pure talent, head case, but to your point, never the leader, and that Joe Burrow is an elite leader. And listen, in the NFC, I'm going dark horse. I'm going Bengals, Lions, Super Bowl. I'm going Lions in the NFC, and dude, first of all, I'm such a fan of this team, and this is a lot of Homer in me, and not that I'm from Detroit, because I'm not. But this team is so much fun to watch. They're going to have an elite running game. Goff has figured it out. St. Brown is going to be really good at wide receiver. Are
they winning Thursday night versus the Chiefs?
If they do, Katie barred the door, because they're going to have so much flag. Either of that, or bounce back, or fade them week 2, right? Like because I mean, here's the thing: head coach, off the chart, like passion, emotion, connection with the team. Goff is kind of as the kids say, mid quarterback. He's not elite, but he's fine. But
that coordinator is going to be a head coach next year. He's so good.
Yeah, for sure. And they listen. I mean, you have a thunder and lightning running game. You've got a top 5 wide receiver. You've got and Detroit needs, and they will. The fans will show out if the Vikings are good. The Lions are good. The fans will show out, and the Vikings will be mid. The Packers will be mid. The Bears will be mid. And so, like, bro, like there's a scene, Jeff. There's a greater than 0% chance they could ship their division. If they ship their division, they're going to win the NFC. Bengals, Lions, Bengals win.
Okay, as the football fan, I would love that Super Bowl. Like tortured team, I'd so badly want my tortured
teams, right?
Yeah, no, that stuff resonates with as a baseball. Like you want to see Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, like these tortured teams. You want to, when they're doing well, I'm like, come on, guys, like do it. I like it. I'm not pouring any cold water on the Lions. It'll be interesting to see what sort of step they're able to take with the expectation. Like we all thought they'd be better. They kind of got off to the slow start. They end with a wagon. Is making the playoffs like a success? In some ways it is, but in some ways we probably think they can do more. You think they're going to the Super Bowl?
So Jeff, I'm trying to buy some time here because I'm trying to see if I can find a matchup a Super Bowl matchup, a Bengals.
Oh, I'll look for it for you. I could probably.
Can you find what a Bengals Lions matchup Super Bowl? Like, I'm sure you can probably find it quicker than I can. It's got to be what, 200 to 1, 300 to 1, probably 300 to 1. I would guess. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. If I do futures, you probably have it.
Oh, you know what? I've seen this before. Exact. I can't. I don't know where I thought I would.
I wonder if I could just do conference winner and parlay it to another conference winner. Let's try that. Conference winner parlayed to conference winner. Can I parlay this? Oh, I can. 77 to 1. That seems a little low, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, but you know what? I got it. I just bet it. 77 to 1. Bengals, Lions, Super Bowl, 77 to 1.
You know what? I don't think it's as low. I don't think the 350 is probably aggressive when you consider the Bengals are 11 to 1 to win the Super Bowl and the Lions are 22. So they're both like in the top 4 in their conference of odds. Right? The Bengals are 3rd and the Lions.
How about the Lions are the 4th favorite to win the NFC? In what world, Jeff, would you have ever guessed that?
I don't know, but it's a world in which Lucas Glover just won back-to-back and Brian Harmon's winning majors. And so I don't know what's going on anymore.
The world where, hey, hang on. You forget who else won a major this year, who you're flying in town to celebrate this weekend.
Well,
the greatest golfer of our generation.
Yes, but if I woke up, if I was in a coma for 2 years and woke up and was told Brooks won the PGA,
you'd be like, well, of course.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, thanks. And then you told me like Brian Harman won the Open. I literally be like, okay. No, he didn't. Well, yeah, Jeff, I don't know. I'll text you later. I'm going to run this one up the chain here. I don't know. One of these days, I promise, I'm going to.
Hey, listen.
Your mouth is going to write. Your ass is going to write the check that your mouth is saying.
Dude,
I'm going to join you.
I'm dead serious. Flying Friday night. I gotta pull out couch in the basement. Fly in Friday night. Fly out Sunday morning. I'll get your Uber from the airport. Text me tonight. I'm dead fucking serious. Come in here. I will book your flight. You send me the details. Text me after we get off the air. You're coming here. And oh, by the way, to my fellow Kepka stands, you know who you are. The offer still stands. I'm buying your tickets too. So if you are a true Kepka stand plus Geoff Fienberg, and hey, if Pat Mayo wants to come, Pat's invited too. I'll buy Pat's ticket too. Text him and tell him. And Pat probably won't come, but you guys are invited. So Jeff, a number one, you're my A number one invite. So go to bed, find the wife, say, hey, can I go to Indy for 48 hours?
48 hours.
You need this picture. You need to get amongst it. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So just marinate on it for 30 minutes or so, eat an edible, think this through, and then go talk to the wife and figure it out and let me know.
Okay, I'll be buzzing you. Okay. All the best, Jeff. Thanks so much. It's always fun anytime.
Love you, brother.